In this video, I'm going to show you the games which brought me to #1 in the world in the current Royal Tournament. Also, I'm going to be able to show you the top 3 decks for the Royal Tournament, which you can use also to win the Crown event. So I would say, let's jump to the games, and I'm going to show you what makes these decks so strong. Let's go. But before that, if you guys want to support my channel, make sure to use creator code mortenroyale. Really helps me out, really supports the channel. Also, make sure to subscribe and activate notification bell to never miss any content just like that. So the first deck I am gonna show you is this Mega Knight Inferno, the Tombstone Zappies control deck, which actually went 30-0. I think even 31-0 with this deck. I think I didn't lose a single game with this deck, or like just one, I think. I like 30 wins. I switched around with different decks. Why? Because of sniping. And yeah, he actually sniped me. He actually built his deck to counter my deck. So he knew what I was playing and he tried to counter me, or he actually did counter me. And as you guys will see why. So if you already see Inferno Dragon, I was like EQ. I was like, okay, is it going to snipe? Now we're going to see E-Giant. So E-Giant EQ looks like a really weird deck. So right now I think it's just gonna NATO everything into that, which was a really bad NATO, because now we get a ton of void of that. And I think in this situation, what I'm gonna do right now is gonna Mega Knight at the bridge. But he also has Fireball, Valkyrie against my Skeleton King, Mini Packer against my Mega Knight, Mother Witch against my Graveyard, Fireball, Earthquake. I don't really see Inferno Dragon is also good against me. So honestly, he has every single answer he needs in this matchup. So he takes a ton of damage because his EQ comes late, because he was low on elixir. This is why I went in so aggressive, because he played a really bad NATO. And this guy actually really deserved the loss. I mean, if you snipe someone and knowing what the opponent is playing, I don't really like it. I mean, you can kind of argument for that. That's part of the game, but I just don't really like this to be in the game. So I'm just going to go for my Zappies in the back. Zappies in the back are really solid, or really good control oriented. And he just drops this. So in this situation, I have like really bad hand, as you guys can see. So let's go back a bit here. So I have two possibilities, right? I could go for the Tombstone here. I could go for the Skelly King into the Inferno Dragon. I could have also Fireballed that, but I think I'm going for the Skelly King here because I really want to save my Tombstone, because I know he has NATO, he has Fireball, he has EQ, so don't really want to play it. Okay, I think right now I'm just gonna go in for my Inferno Dragon. Okay, I'm just gonna go in with my Inferno Dragon here on top of his Inferno Dragon. It's kind of great that he doesn't have a reset right now, but he will go in now, so we're just gonna go for the MK first. The great thing is now we can play Tombstone like that in a perfect position. He goes in with a straight up Fireball. Fireball didn't really make sense. Also the Valkyrie dies here, so the skulls are still able to get some chip damage, and we're honestly doing really fine. So in this situation, I'm just gonna go Graveyard as soon as I can. I didn't know that he has Mother Witch also, so he goes now for the matchup. Like, what the heck is this deck? Sorry, it was a completely snipe, but I can just go for Fireball. He killing that, also kill some Hoggies, and still getting some chip at least with the Fireball. He needs to go for Valkyrie. I would have loved to go in for another Graveyard now and just keep up the pressure, but I couldn't. So the great thing is he cannot go for Inferno Dragon, so I really knew he's gonna E-Giant that, because the Zappy would have just reset Inferno Dragon and it would have been really bad. So the good thing is he always needs to use his EQ on defense, so we can just use the Tombstone in this position. So he needs to most likely Fireball the Zappies, which he does. So I can just go in for my Inferno G right now. The good thing is for me, I was like really waiting a ton of time. Is the Inferno Dragon gonna survive or not? And if it's gonna survive, he doesn't really have a way to kill it. So I mean, he could NATO that, but yeah, you guys know what I mean. So I'm just gonna wait here. He goes in for preemptive Mother Witch, which was really bad. So I could go now for a Graveyard, but I think first of all I'm gonna play really safe here and don't go Graveyard. I can just go now for my high Skelly King, and the good thing is with the champion in your deck, you 3-card cycle, you have really good control, and I can just go in for this high. So right now it's just about like one last push. He goes in right now for really bad Valkyrie, which he kind of needs now. So he goes in for Fireball. I can just drop my, I just can use my ability now. He needs to go for Earthquake, which comes a bit late, and we're actually winning this one against a snipe, and we're also BMing him because he deserves that. I actually want to show you another game with this deck. I think we go like double time speed against this giant Graveyard deck. Just want to show like how you play against this one of the most popular decks in Clash Royale. I mean, Warlocks and honestly are kind of easy because you have Fireball, Skelly King, Archer Queen. So honestly, really easy. Okay, so I'm just going for Mega Knight here. That's kind of bad for me that he's gonna go for his minions there. So he gets 10 of favor, but Mega Knight is actually pretty healthy. Mega Knight's just so good. I mean, there's also the variation that you can play with the with the how's it called? That's kind of lucky, by the way, that my Skelly King dies. If I would have gotten the ability out, I would have been able to get so much damage. Yeah, you can play Valkyrie and Mega Knight also, but I really prefer this version. Mega Knight, I still think it needs a nerf. I mean, people were telling me no, Morten doesn't, but yeah, I think it needs a nerf. So that was honestly, I could have played the Fair Drag a bit higher. So right now I'm just gonna go for, I'm gonna wait here with my arrows, just to make sure he does something, and like we are really lucky right now that he's not using the ability. So that was really well played. Should have played in Foundering way higher, maybe arrowed earlier. So I'm just gonna go Fireball here. I'm just gonna go in Foundering high this time. He cannot go in for Graveyard plus this thing because he still needs to defend this. So I'm just go for a Zappy Split. Zappies are actually one of the best cards in Clasher. So it was honestly not that great from him. Really happy also that the one Zappy survived. So I'm just gonna go in for my Skelly King here low. Go for my Foundering here. I knew he's gonna snowball that, so I need to go for my Tombstone. And right now, I'm just gonna go for my Zappy Split here. Zappies are honestly really doing a great job here. I think this situation I'm just gonna Fireball arrows there to kill that. I'm also gonna be using my ability just to tank for the Foundering to force another Skeleton army out. So it's actually +1 trade. So right now I'm just go for my Zappies in the back. And I think right now I'm just going to cycle my Foundering here, and I'm just going to go in, I think, in this situation now, opposite lane. So I'm just going to wait here until he arrows, and now I'm just going to go for my arrow putting on top of the Skeleton army. We're actually getting so much damage. He doesn't have his arrows anymore. Actually, kind of unlucky for us that his Witch survives, so we need to go for Fireball. That's still fine. I can just go in for my Zappies here. Zappies are actually really, really good. Now I'm just going to go for my Skelly King here, and I'm just going to go for this Mega Knight. Okay, I'm just going to go for Zappies high. So let's see what he does. I'm just gonna go for my arrows, I think, now, but I think this is it already. Like, he cannot defend his GGs well played. Great win. So guys, actually this is the deck which I showed you yesterday when I was talking about the best deck in the Royal Tournament. This is a deck which you can use, and I think I just used this deck because I was kind of scared of the snipe. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna switch it up, and we got honestly a really, really lucky matchup there. So I'm just going for my Tesla here. Honestly, this Hawkrider Cycle deck, yeah, it's not easy to play, but it's not like you can just play it if you're like the best player in the world. I think if you guys want to see more Hawkrider Cycle gameplay in general, make sure to watch yesterday's video when I talked about the best Royal Tournament deck, which I think this is because it has the most, or like the best matchups also. It normally should be the deck which I just showed you. For sure, Mega is a bit harder, but also you can activate King Tower against Mega Knight. So Valkyrie is way more defensive, Mega Knight is way more offensive, but Valkyrie, you cannot activate King Tower. Mega Knight, you can, especially with buildings plus skeletons, or like if you play the Fire Split skeleton version, even easier. Go for the Fire Split in the middle, or skeletons, then just go drop skeletons or Fire Split in front of your King Tower for 2 elixir against 7 elixirs. So apply opposite aggression with the Hawk Rider, and then when your opponent is using a Mega Knight, you just want to push opposite lane as well, and just spam. Maybe go for the archery at the bridge that he's not able to commit with his Mega Knight, and then just activate King Tower, and you basically won. So honestly, against Hawk or like this Mortar deck, you have a ton of answers. Fire Split also would have been fine, but I think Delivery is even better in the matchup. You can use Valkyrie or Knight, whatever. I think I just used Valkyrie because there were like ton of Royal Hawks players, which I think is, Valkyrie is way easier to play against. Just go for my Valkyrie skeletons behind that. And I'm just gonna go in for my Archer Queen. So Archer Queen is coming down. Archer Queen is putting in really ton of like work. So I think right now I'm just gonna wait here a bit. I'm gonna use my Delivery now when my cannon card or his cannon card is in tower range. And I think I'm still taking that log. Really great log. This is what we want to see.
Feels like I'm dying inside.
He's gonna laugh because he knows the matchup is quite tough for him. But yeah, this is life, right? I think like all of my decks, they're like kind of like this Valkyrie Tesla skeleton combi is like a really good combination deck. I'm playing a ton of decks. I'm playing it also in I play it also in this minor poison deck, which I will show you afterwards a game. It's just a really, really strong combination right now. It's kind of new trifecta. I mean, Tombstone is still really good, Baby Doing Isurus, it's still good solid cards, but Tesla, Tesla Log or Tesla Skeletons, Valkyrie are really, really solid in defense, and then like a ton of decks after. Even some E-Giant decks, as I showed you, I think 2 videos ago, 3 videos ago. I don't really remember. So many videos out there. So, I think the situation, I'm just going to drop my Hawk Rider here, and I'm just going to use my great EQ here, and we get a ton of volume. Also, I thought we might get a shot here, but we didn't. Also need to go for Skeletons here. I mean, Valkyrie is one of the best counters against Skelly King. Skelly King 100% needs a nerf. I don't really think anyone can agree with it. It's like saying it's not OP. Even if you face a Valkyrie deck, it still gets so much value on defense. This is the great thing. The Skelly King has a ton of HP, it's really solid against Royal Hawks, and it's so good on defense. And the offensive ability, you don't really need it in some situations. Just generally really good card, and you can cycle in the back, and this tanks so much. And yeah, it's just so annoying to face. So I'm just going to use my ability. I'm always trying to go for my Tesla here. Kennekai could be annoying right now, especially if I need to go for my Valkyrie and back, because then I don't really have anything against his Kennekai anymore. So I'm just go for my Psychic Skeletons here, playing it on purpose on the right that the Skull King doesn't splash, and the Skeletons for 1 elixir actually doing a ton of damage. So I'm just go for my Hog Rider here. I'm just gonna go on for the EQ here, and actually I want to go for the King to activation. If the time the Skeletons like 1 second later, I think it would have activated King Tower, but it didn't. So I think in this situation I'm just gonna go for my Valkyrie here really late, and now I'm just gonna go for my Hog Rider, because with the Queen with a 3-card cycle, so with the Q is out already. So I'm just go for my Lock here. Actually Firebolt in the perfect timing, but the Valkyrie gets on. I thought for 1 second the Archer Queen also gets on. I didn't get the ability out of the Archer Queen, but still, I mean, I think there's going to be one more push, which is quite hard for us to defend, but generally I would say this situation is really good and we don't really do any mistakes. So just go for my Mortar here. Honestly, really great Mortar Kite from him against our Hawk. I'm just going to go for Skeletons here. I'm just going to go for my Lock here. Great Lock also. I'm just going to go for my yeah, here now I'm just gonna like need to wait a bit. It's kind of great for us that the Skeleton Army didn't push the Kennekai. That would have been really bad, but as you guys will see now, you guys are gonna think this is going to be a tough push, right? But I'm gonna tell you, we are almost gonna defend this flawless. So I'm just go for the Q here. I go for the delivery. I'm just going for the log, and we have every single answer which we need. So if you guys hate any type of spam decks, Mega Knight spam, Mortar spam, Log Bait, this is the deck you want to play because you actually hard counter them. GG's well played, great win. So guys, the final game which I want to show you in today's video is going to be this, this Minor Poison game. Minor Poison, honestly, really solid deck. We like it because there's a ton of graveyards out there, and also it should do really well against the deck which I just showed in the first game, this MK, or like second game, also the MK Skeleton King deck, because of the Poison, of the Archer Queen high. Tesla, Valkyrie, so yeah, if you guys looking, that's the great thing, right? You're like, I'm showing a deck which is good, and then I'm showing you a deck which is good against this deck, and then I'm showing also a deck which is good against this deck, but doesn't do really well against this deck. So this is kind of Clash Royale right now. Kind of rock, paper, scissors, but this is how it works, right? So, resold deck, I think Minor Poison has the most outplay potential, has like the most sold matchups. I feel like Minor Poison is the deck, if you play it on a really high level, you can win most of the matchups, but if you're like a beginner player, you're gonna lose most of the matchups because they're kind of, I would say, like there's some matchups, or like some, some matchups especially, which I would say are really easy on the top of ladder, and are really hard on mid ladder. I would say an example, there's gonna be the matchup, if you know, like a Lava Clone versus Expo, I would say in top ladder 99% of the time the Expo player will win. But I can tell you mid ladder 99% of the Lava Clone player will win, because it's way harder to win as an Expo player, because there's way more decision making, way more skill involved. So this is kind of what you always need to think of if you talk about matchups. There are matchups in top ladder, in competitive, and also in mid ladder. And this is honestly a matchup which you normally should also win in mid ladder, because you have also the Poison on defense, you have the Tesla. The only way how your opponent is gonna win this is with a really good freeze. You're overcommitting with a Poison on offense and single elixir time, which you would never do with Minor Poison. You normally run with a Poison on offense. I mean, you can, right? If you're just going for Musketeer in the bag, you can poison it basically if you're playing against 2.6, right? But if you don't know this opponent's deck exactly, you don't really want to poison, especially against Graveyard. On offense, in single elixir time, poisoning is not that good, especially because Graveyard is a deck which gets stronger in triple. So if you like be behind already in single elixir time, this is not good against Graveyard. You really want to make sure you're controlling the game. So just go for another Minor. I think right now I'm just going to go Skeletons and Log. I think which I don't really like against Minor Poison, or like against Graveyard in general, is going same lane. But it's fine because, yeah, he doesn't have his, he doesn't have Archer Queen. So just go for this. I'm just going to always drop my Archer Queen high, yeah, to make sure he's not going to get a good freeze out of that. But I think in this situation I'm just going to go for my Log here. And he goes opposite lane. So what I'm going to do right now is just going to go Poison. Now I'm just going to Fire Spirit. And now I'm just going to go Skeletons here. So right now I'm just going to support this with a Minor. I wasn't sure if this, if that would have done the job. I think I should have used my ability second later, but I didn't do it. So the Minor is still chipping away, so I think it was a really great defense. Going for the Fire Spirit high. This is, by the way, of course, the perfect skeleton placement. So let's go for my Log here, and the tower is already down at 1k HP. This is what we want to see. And honestly, right now, it's just about playing defensive, playing really well. And yeah, I really hope that I'm able to finish like at least top 5 in this global tournament. I think I'm really feeling really comfortable. I'm switching up decks, which is important to avoid snipes. But generally, I think This is really, really great. And I'm just so thankful for all the support. I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want to see more global tournament gameplay and which deck you guys want to see more on the channel. Which deck you guys enjoy. Which deck are you playing currently? Want to see more tips on that? GG's well played. I think in Triple X time, if in this situation, you can just straight up, especially when you have the queen on the map and you have even cheap, faster cycle, just straight up minor poisoning all the time. GG's well played. Let's go. I hope you guys enjoyed today's one. Peace out. Subscribe. Use Creator Go more in the shop. Give a like. Goodbye. Share it with your friends also.